Hey guys, welcome to my newest video for today, March 11th. As you can see, the hair got chopped off, so you can actually see my eyes for a change. It may look a little I may look a little on the tired side because I was up all night and I spent all night watching the news. And I think you guys know the reason, so I'm not gonna get into it. It's just finally, almost after 4 weeks of finishing the fucking series, that this is the next film review series. And of course, by the title, you know what it is. It's the James Bond series. But like the Godzilla ones, because there's over 20, I only picked my top 10. Because the James Bond series has 23 films, so I only picked my top 10. And I know some of you are probably thinking, 23? It should be 22. Well, there's one I count as a Bond movie. I don't care if it was done by Warner Brothers. So I'm just gonna get started. So number 10 is one of the ones that not a lot of people like, but it's on my list because it is the movie that got me into the James Bond series back in '85, and that is A View to a Kill. Like I said, I saw this when I was 5 years old. 1985. This is what started it for me. And even when I got older and read a lot of the reviews, I still love this movie a lot. It got me into the Bond films. It got me into the band Duran Duran. And it actually was my very first action movie I ever saw. And I think it still holds up. It's one of the ones I really want to get on Blu-ray. It's got some really cool effects, and to have an Oscar winner as a villain is always awesome. Christopher Walken, who is just a pleasure to watch in anything, he was great as a James Bond villain. And I like Grace Jones in this. I thought she was pretty neat. I liked everything about this movie, so that's why it's on my list. Number 9, though some people may think it's higher, but there were other ones that I thought were a little bit better. And of course, that was Dr. No, the very first James Bond movie. And I think I don't really have to go into detail with this one. Everybody knows the story. And I think we can all agree that Ursula Andress is still the hottest Bond girl ever. Especially with that moment in her coming out of the ocean in the bikini. That was extremely hot. It still holds up almost, 50 years later. Next year it's 50 years. But yeah, this View to a Kill is 8 out of 10. This one's 8 out of 10. It's still a really great one. Next one up is, I haven't heard that many comments about this, but I've always liked it. But I think it has the absolute shittiest opening title song ever. I always zip through the credits because I hate the fucking song, and that is 83's Octopussy. I've never liked the song, but I've always liked this one, and I think it's the fact that Maud Adams goes down in history as the only actress to actually play a Bond girl twice in this, and of course in 74's The Man with the Golden Gun. And I like the story. I like the villain. I've never been able to say his name. It's Louis Jordan. I thought it was another one, but his character's name I can't say. I've always liked him, and he would, like in the making of, half the cast liked the way how he pronounced Octopussy, and I'm like, yeah, he's awesome in it. But yeah, actually, there's a little trivia about this, and maybe EJ, you know this too, but the scene where Bond is hanging off the train, you can actually see it, and I never noticed it until I watched the making of this, is at one point, it looks like he slips and he's hanging on by one hand. Actually, the stuntman got hit in the side by a railing that nobody knew was there, and actually, literally fractured his hip, and he was in the hospital for 6 months, and nobody noticed it until they yelled cut and realized this guy is seriously hurt, and it's actually in the movie, and I never noticed that. I just thought maybe Bond had slipped in that, but that's what happened. I've always liked this one. I don't know why a lot of people haven't. Yada yada. Again, 8 out of 10. Now this one EJ might kick my ass for, because a lot of people consider this the best or the greatest, and to me it was when I was a teenager, but when I got older and started rewatching it a lot, I was like, no. It kind of went down. It's still a great movie, but it's not as the best that everybody says, and that is 64's Goldfinger. There's some I like more, so I do agree it's a great film, but over the even my dad, he's picked other Bond movies over this, but it's the same thing. Has a great story, has a great everything, and I love the song. This is like my top 5 favorite songs, and I should have mentioned it before, but A View to a Kill is also on that list. But yeah, this was my favorite as a teenager, but then I rewatched it again when I got older, and I was like, no, there's some that I like more than this. So please don't hate me. And one of those ones is another one that not a lot of people liked, and I don't know why. And I always like this, and it's another one of the Bond songs that I actually like, and that is 81's For Your Eyes Only. But yeah, I've always liked this one. And this is the beginning of John Glenn doing about 5 movies. Because he's worked on the Bond films since On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and he got promoted to director. He directed this one, Octopussy, View to a Kill, Living Daylights, and License to Kill. So it's like 5 films in a row that he directed. And and the actor who plays the villain, Julian Glover, I've always liked. You know him in Empire Strikes Back, and of course Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Topple is really good in this. I've never seen Fiddler on the Roof, but I should. And it's actually one of the few Bond films that is not scored by John Barry. It's by Bill Conte, who is somebody I've always liked because of Rocky and the Karate Kid. And Caroline Bouquet, the lead actress in this, I think is up there with Ursula Andress as one of the most gorgeous of the Bond girls. I thought, you don't think about this when you're a kid, but when I got older, I always thought she was absolutely gorgeous, and I don't know what happened to her. I don't think she did any other films, which is sad because she was very good in this one. And another trivia, of course, one of the Bond girls in this one was Cassandra Harris, who, as everybody knows, was married to Pierce Brosnan at the time, so This basically started something that would take till 1995 to actually happen. And this, again, like the other one, this is an 8.5 film. I've always liked this, so we'll move on. Next one up, actually, I forgot to number it. This one's number 5, and this one's always been one of my favorites, same as with my dad. And again, one of my other favorite Bond songs, and that is 1965's Thunderball. This I love a lot of stuff about this movie. I've always liked this. No, this wasn't the first Connery Bond film I saw. The next one it is, actually. But yeah, and I like the actress with the red hair. I cannot pronounce her name because she was the first kind of female villain for the Bond films, and she was really good. She kicked butt. Of course, Tom Jones sung the song, and it's always been one of my favorite ones. But yeah, we all know the story for this, so don't have to go on. And oddly enough, number 4 is the one that nobody considers a Bond film, and I always have. And this was the first Connery Bond film I saw when I was 8 years old. And ironically, it's a remake to Thunderball, and that is Never Say Never Again. I don't care what anybody says. I love this one. I've always loved this one. I don't care. Even my dad, he says it's one of his favorite movies with Connery as Bond. So yeah, I don't know why everybody bitches. I love the cast, especially the actress who played basically the redhead girl. I can't remember how to pronounce her name, but you know, she was also in Lone Wolf McQuade. If you know who I'm talking about. I thought she was great, and she actually got a Golden Globe nomination for her performance, which is fantastic. It actually is sad because the director of this, who is also the director of Empire Strikes Back, passed away not too long ago. And I always thought, because I'm one of the people who thought Connery got way more better looking as he got older, and this very much verifies it. And I didn't care he was in his, I think he was in his late 50s, early 60s when he did this, and I thought, you know what, he hasn't done Bond in 12 years, and he's still, it's like putting on an old jacket, it still fit him after all these years. But yeah, it's always been my favorite, don't care what anybody says, so, yeah. And number 3, I don't remember when I saw this. I think I was about 6. Another one of my dad's favorites that he showed me, and has some great stunts. And the actress is, of course, like the other two, one of my favorite Bond girls, and one of the most gorgeous women in the world at that time. I actually don't know what she looks like now, but that movie is 1977's The Spy Who Loved Me. This one is very highly regarded as, got someone posting on Facebook, but this is highly regarded as one of the best, and I very much agree with them. It's got a very interesting villain, in that, and like I said, Barbara Bach is one of the most gorgeous women in the world, and she plays someone who, is, a worthy, not adversary, that's not the word. She's like the female, at the time she was like the female James Bond, which a lot of people really liked, because they figured I guess they figured it's about time, but, that's more happened in the Pierce Brosnan era, where the girls were kicking as much ass as he was. But yeah, this is one of my favorites, always liked it, so yeah. Number 2, is one of the ones I can watch without even rewatching the series. It's great. It's great everything, even the song, which is funny because I don't think a lot of people like the song, and I always loved it. I would play it loud on my headphones when I was younger. And it only took me from 1985 to 1995 to see a Bond film in the theater. You all know what it is, and that, of course, is Goldeneye. I saw this 7 times in the theater, 3 times opening weekend. It's highly regarded as one of the best movie-going experiences for me. Yet it's the second time I saw it in the theater, which was with my dad in a packed house, and we were all going absolutely crazy. Because, you know, when certain movies you have to see with a full audience to get the effect, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. It only took Pierce Brosnan a long time to become Bond, and he was great. And yet the sad thing is, the last 2 movies he did, I'll watch, but only if I rewatch the series, because they went too sci-fi for my taste. But Martin Campbell, he directed this one, and he was fantastic. He rebooted what a lot of people thought was a dead series after the 6 years that it'd been, the 6-year hiatus. And Famke Janssen, oh my gosh, she was fucking awesome. I never heard of a villain who could do that, and I think it was a hint from The Living Daylights, because that's one of the assassins they were talking about, and that's how she killed people, was like that. The score in this is very interesting because it's done by Eric Serra, I don't know, who works with Luc Besson, did La Femme Nikita, The Professional, and The Fifth Element score. And I like the score to this. I've always liked it. But yeah, this is, of course, you can't say anything more about this. It's a 9 out of, well, Spy Love Me was 9, this was 9 as well. Okay, so what the hell's number 1? And I've got 45 seconds to talk about it. Shit. Well, it is another one directed by Martin Campbell. It doesn't need too much of an introduction, and that, of course, is 2006's Casino Royale. Everybody thought I liked this because it was the newest one. That's totally wrong. I liked it because it went back to, like, the Connery Bonds, where he does rely on gadgets, but not so much. And I thought Daniel Craig was fantastic as Bond. He totally blew away all the naysayers. I wasn't one of the naysayers, but I was like, well, I'll wait and see. And 20 minutes in, I thought, he's fucking nailed this. Because I'm running out of time, I'll do a better review of this when I have the chance. I'm sorry, guys, that I rambled on about the others and wasted too much time. Great movie, great everything, and I have to go, but hopefully soon I will do a solo review on this, give you more info, and I gotta go. So until my next video, you know the story. Rate, comment, have a good week. You know the story, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.